Red dot going?
Babe mashed it.
I'll let you surprise you. Don't watch it yet.
Dude. Yeah, absolutely.
Dude, absolutely.
How you been sleeping?
Actually, up and down on the sleeping. It's been very weird.
Really?
Yeah.
Care to elaborate?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a shitty sleeping partner. Like I just am. I take up the whole bed. And I don't know if it's because like I've slept alone in my bed my whole life and it's just something I'm going to have to get used to, but Caitlin hates it. Hates it. And justifiably hates it.
Yeah.
I mean, like I'm the worst. She said the other night I like did this thing where I like flipped over, but like I like tilted my butt out and then like, you know, like when you butt bomb on a trampoline?
Yeah.
I like did that, but like on her to like switch sides and then like elbowed her face.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, dude, I don't get it. I just take up all the space. And this morning I called her and I was like, hey, I vaguely remember being horrible while we were sleeping last night and I'm sorry about that.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I'm still falling asleep with food in my mouth like a psycho.
That's good. That's good. Continuity.
It's so funny. Kim is like, especially last night, there's these things where because I'm like slightly unconscious or unaware,
Yeah.
she feels like she's like caught me in this goofy act.
Yeah. Ooh.
And so she's never like, hey, sweetie. She's like, are you falling asleep?
You're like 12 days in a row.
She's like the kid in class who calls you out for falling asleep during class. Like, oh, Daryl, are you asleep, dude?
Yeah. And then you're
and then
like,
the whole class laughs at you. That's what it feels like. I'm like, fuck, no. Like, I always say that I'm not, but I definitely am.
yeah.
It's
I was
those-
the kid who slept in class, so I totally get that reference.
One time,
I slept hard in class. Like hard. Not like, you know what I mean? But like,
not erect.
no.
Oh, okay.
But like English class junior year, this is still to this day one of my favorite school stories. Junior year English class, I walk in. I haven't been sleeping like at all. I don't know. That's how I was. I would go to bed super late, whatever. And I was super tired and I had a really bad headache. And my teacher like loved me. And I was a good student in that class because it was just writing and I could write. I just vomit a bunch of words onto a page and get an A. That's like just how it was. So I get into class and I like walk up to her and I'm like, hey, I'm super tired. Is it okay if I just like sleep today? And she was like, you know what? No one has ever asked that before. Yeah, you can take a nap today. And I was like, okay. So I like, you know, take off the jacket and the sweater, or take off the sweatshirt and the backpack and then like put my sweatshirt on my backpack and make my little pillow thing, you know, and I just like hunker down. And as I'm falling asleep, I hear one of the students who I played hockey with, he's like at the same table as me. He like does the same thing. And she's like, Derek, what are you doing? And he's like, Alex is sleeping. And she's like, Alex asked if he could sleep. And I said, yes. And you did not. So open your book, please. Oh, it was incredible.
That's so funny.
Yeah, it was awesome. I was so happy. And then I just got up from my nap and went to lunch. Free nap.
I was a habitual, like somebody I fell asleep during choir practice with 150 people.
Good for you.
In class.
Singing.
Yeah. I fell asleep sitting in my chair and kind of came to and it was quiet. And the first thought is, oh, everybody's gone. But I wake up and I look and my teacher's like hands on the knees staring at me. And then the whole class just fucking falls out.
And you were like, you guys caught me. Also, I'm tired.
Yeah.
Well, that was like, dude, I don't know, Spanish class, I always slept. And my teacher would always like scream at me, but like in Spanish. But I was like sleeping the whole class. Every
Alejandro!
class. Yeah. So she'd be like, Alejandro, whatever, you know, and I'd be like, I don't know what you're saying.
Lo siento, toma mucho tiempo.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm sleeping still because I don't know what you're saying. So
I fell asleep during a home ec class one time.
Oof, did you leave the oven on?
I remember the dream. I did leave the oven on. In the dream, so it was a day where we were doing like, you had to write a report on kitchen utensils. The most boring thing you can imagine.
Wait, so in the class
we had to do that.
Oh, okay.
And then
I thought this.
sorry.
Okay.
Back to
Yeah.
I had to set that up. So I fall asleep.
Yeah.
And in my dream, I was running through the forest, and I remember looking down at this stump, and I was like, I have to jump over this stump. I jumped, but in my sleep, my feet kicked off the ground, and I hit my desk and like picked my desk up. Woke myself up. The girl who was doing her thing, it was is this a blender or a whipper? The gun.
That's
the thing you let cake batter off of?
Like a whisker thing? Like a whisk. Like that you would use for a cake, right?
Yeah, but like the electric one?
I don't know.
See, I always fuck that up because I'll say...
It's not a blender.
Right, because it's not. But I don't know what to call it.
I don't know either. I have no idea. That's a really weird. It's almost like the men don't spend any time in the kitchen.
Oh, man. Is it a whisper?
I don't think the H is that hard. Certainly not a capital H.
But so she, like, nobody addressed it at all. Like, that happened, poof, poof, super loud. And the girl just goes, and there's 3 different settings.
Oh, that's so funny. Oh my god, that's
like
brilliant.
Just skimmed right over it. It was fucking hilarious.
That's so funny. Okay, I'm gonna tell another school story. I got 2 of them. These are both so good. Home ec. My holy hell home ec moment. This dude, biggest guy maybe to ever hit the 8th grade in any school of all time. This guy was like 6'4", 8th grade.
Yeah.
Massive human being. He might have been 6'6", honest to God. He was a man.
Wow.
And he might not have been 14 or whatever the hell age we were. You know what I mean? Like, he was a big boy. He was like missing a tooth in the front.
Ooh.
And he one day in class like leaned back and he was like, psst, yo Alex. And I was like, what? And he's like, check it out. I'm like, look over, and he's like police batoning his crank in his hand under the table. Like, literally, he's just like boom, boom. And I was just like, oh, okay, like that is big, but also your cock is out right now. It was horrifying. It was insane. So there's that. Second thing, my like falling asleep, waking up in a panic story. I can't believe we both, I mean, obviously we both had, look at us. But I was in like world history or something, and we had tables in high school. We didn't have desks. So like you sat at a table with 1 or 2 other people, depending on the size of the table. We didn't have like the lift up your shit desk, and we didn't have like individual desks. Like you always shared it with somebody else.
Oh.
And I was in the back of the class. We were watching some bullshit movie. It was, I don't even know what movie it was, but it was bad. And I was tall enough back then that I could hook my feet on the end of the desk and lean back in my chair. And I would do that. And during this movie, I did that and I fell asleep. Like on 2 feet of the chair, right? Feet hooked into the back. So I don't know what happened. I think my desk mate, who was one of my buddies, like rocked the table forward so that my feet like got momentum. And I like fell forward and like the momentum didn't stop, and I just smoked my face against the table like so hard. Like it was just like boom, and the whole class, when we were watching a movie, so the whole class is like, Jesus fuck. You know, the teacher like stands up, she's like, are you okay? And I was just like, yeah, I'm good. Like literally just had a bloody nose. Just like, oh good, don't worry about it. So I like got up and like, you know, whatever, and I came back and my buddy was just like, oh. Sick. Not sick. So dumb. But yeah. Anyway, so how have you been sleeping for real? I know you kind of answered it, but you didn't.
Yeah, I don't sleep really.
I'm not very good at sleeping. Like
Yeah.
I've learned that.
I stay, especially since like doing more podcasting and like more designing and shit.
Yeah.
As soon as it gets to like 10 o'clock, my body goes, fuck, man, we've only got 2 minutes to like keep creating shit. Or
Yeah.
2 minutes, 2 hours.
Yeah.
And so my body goes into like this freak out mode where I like don't want to sleep at all. So,
Well, yeah, I feel that.
so even with all of the meds that I take, which there are many, I take hydroxyzine, I
Hey,
take
same.
Remeron, I take
Ramrod?
Ramrod.
Yeah. That wasn't as funny as
It
I
is
hoped it was gonna be.
it's an analgesic. Pills go in your butt.
No, they don't, Chris. That's why it's not working, man. You gotta stop putting it in your can.
I wonder if it would work.
Put it in your
faster,
mouth, Chris.
actually.
Stop putting it in your butt.
That's what she said. Ow! Now,
You're welcome. Go ahead.
so there's hydroxyzine, Remeron, melatonin, 10 milligrams of melatonin.
10?
10.
When I take 10 milligrams of melatonin, the next day I am
Dunzo.
a zombie for like the first 2 hours of the day. That's horrifying. Good for you, though.
Yeah. So and then
It just shows your will to be awake.
yeah, gabapentin, and it's not
I don't know
until
what that is.
I
Yo,
go
gabba gabba.
exactly. So the Yo Gabba Gabba is neuropathy medication. I didn't actually. I unlocked it. Sorry, that was my
Oh.
bitch of a wife. I can't believe there's people that actually talk like that.
Yeah, dude. Those. Whenever you hear somebody do something like that, it's the weirdest thing because it's like it's almost like, and it's not the same. Not the same. I'm not drawing equivalencies here, but it's similar to hearing somebody use a racial slur. in public. You know, when like somebody drops the hard R and you're like, whoa, hey man, I didn't realize we were by Superman because you're going to get killed right now by me, I think. What the fuck was that? You know? But like when you hear somebody say something shitty about their spouse
Yeah.
and they mean it and they mean it and they think it's funny, like to talk like that, or they mean it and they just mean it. And you're like, wow.
The really intense ones where it's expected that they're going to talk that way about their partner.
Yeah.
You want to be like, hey, so why are you guys together?
Yeah.
But they put that fire out so quickly. Like
Yeah.
they just want to be able to say
That's
shitty
what it
things.
is. That's what it is. It's, dude, this goes hand in hand with what I was going to talk to you about.
What's that?
So it's like they're looking for a reason to be upset, right? Because that, for some reason, is fuel to them.
Sure.
I don't post on Facebook. I tweet like once every 6 weeks, and honestly, it like requires that I like consume a decent amount of alcohol to like go on a tweet storm. And a tweet storm for me is like 4 tweets, and they're all like, "Where are my Pringles?" You know, like it's nothing. But I almost went off today on Facebook. I've been seeing so much stuff on like every platform. It's like I can't get away from it. That is just so negative, and I'm just done, man.
Yeah.
It's like I'm just tired. I'm tired of seeing people. It's like there's always a reason to be upset, but you can choose not to be and find a reason to be happy.
Yeah.
You know? It's like the Some Good News thing that John Krasinski's doing.
Yeah.
Caitlin told me about that. I haven't watched any of them yet, but like, you know, I've gotten close to watching them, and then like Bad Friends comes out, and I'm like, nah, all right, I'm gonna watch Bad Friends.
Yeah.
It's like there's good stuff out there. Just like ignore the bad stuff.
Yeah.
Because it's not helping anyone to just like complain about shit all the time. But it is getting, dude, I about like, for the first time in like a long time, I about like did one of those posts where I'm like, just so you know, like if I see you posting negative stuff and whatever, like I'm just going to delete you. Because like I don't want to see it anymore. Yeah. I have no bandwidth for it. Like we all have shit going on. I get that. We all have insecurities and anxiety, and the world isn't really helping with that right now either, you know? And there are things that none of us can control. Like the media is going to keep putting out whatever's negative because that's what sells, you know? But like...
How old are you again?
26.
26. When, I'm trying to think, social media has been around for you for a long time? Like when you were like in
I never
say
had
7th or 8th
MySpace.
grade?
I had never had MySpace, but I remember MySpace.
Okay. So think about this. Like how often did you see your group of friends get pushed to the tipping point?
What do you mean?
Like how often did you see one of your friends at any given time just freak the fuck out and talk about all of the shitty things that were going on in their life?
In person or like on social media?
In person.
I don't know that I've ever seen that.
Mm-hmm. Pretty rare. Now imagine that you not only do you have that group of what, six
Yeah.
to 8 friends,
Yeah.
if you're killing it,
Go ahead. That's funny. Nice job.
of like close people, you know what I'm saying?
Dude, if we make shirts, that was funny, go ahead is going to be on a shirt. Keep going. It's like my favorite thing to say to
That
you.
is good. But like imagine having 500 of the closest friends and expecting that we're all on the same even keel.
Yeah.
It's a numbers game. You're going to have more people popping off. And because that stuff sticks out to you now, like I scroll through so much shit and I'm not even reading it. I'm looking for a photo or, you know what I
Right.
mean? But if that stuff stands out to you, then how many friends do you have on Facebook?
I don't even know. A lot.
Hundreds, right?
Yeah, for sure. And it's not like everybody that's doing it. You know, it's not even necessarily just like people on Facebook. Dude, my bad. It's not just people like posting on Facebook. It's like you go to Twitter.
But that's the thing is beyond that, you could never follow just random people before.
Yeah.
So you've got potentially thousands of opportunities for someone to be having the worst day every single day.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
And the only reason I'm bringing that up is because I kind of just realized that myself because I freaked the fuck out yesterday
about
the Joe Rogan thing, which is so fucking stupid.
Well, that was kind of actually what got me thinking about it. That's like I saw that post. Caitlin was like, "What's wrong with Chris? What happened?" I was like, "I don't fucking know." And then she was like, "Look at his face." So I looked at it, and then like I saw what you posted, and I couldn't really tell if you were at first like if you were upset that he was moving, or if you were upset, and then you clarified in the edit.
Yeah.
Or if you were upset at the people who were upset that he was moving and
Yeah.
were just like finding reasons to be upset about nothing, you know?
Well,
And-
there's so many snobby podcasters that like every single podcasting group that I was a part of was just like the most dismissive, like, I don't really give a shit about this guy, but figured some of you might. And like just streams and streams of how fucking stupid Joe Rogan is and how like it was just nonstop. And I tried one time to be like, are you just gaslighting people? Like what?
Yeah, what's the purpose of this?
You just assume that everyone hates Joe Rogan.
Right.
And so it's just a
'Cause
shit
not-
on.
First of all, not everybody does. First, like, to be clear, not everybody hates Joe Rogan. A lot of people, for some reason, hate Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
A lot of people think he's like a bad guy. I don't know that he's a bad guy. I think maybe, just possibly, he's fucking 54 and has opinions that maybe you just don't agree with. But overall, I think he's probably a pretty decent guy.
Yeah.
You know? He got offered $100 million to just start doing his podcast on Spotify and not on YouTube.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. If anyone who's shitting on him got offered $1 million to do their podcast on Spotify, they would probably be willing to do just about anything. Just about anything. And I don't know if I'm not saying it's jealousy either.
Yeah.
Because I know that's not it either. It's just like people want to be upset about shit. I was looking through the comments on that post that he put up yesterday, not on Instagram, on like the beginning of the podcast that he had. with Pat,
Yeah.
right? First of all, the like to dislike ratio was off the charts. I was like, wait a minute. What did he say? You know, because like I pull it up and I was like, holy hell, did Patton actually kill his wife? Like, what's going on here? Because that was like a whole thing in the comments, too.
Oh, really?
People think that he,
What? Why?
I don't know. I love Patton.
Yeah.
I've always loved Patton.
He's such a solid human being.
He's so raw and like, but the whole thing, people think that he was either like slow to react or was like, is still hiding some things regarding, because his wife died of actually an overdose.
Oh, okay.
And they think that he either like participated or like was like willfully ignorant in that overdose or was like just not like that present.
Sure.
But like his story, like people are saying doesn't match up with like how biologically or chemically, I should say, like the Xanax that she took like would have, but it does because like the Xanax that she was taking, actually, that's all beside the point. But like people for some reason don't like can't let that go. Like they're just like conspiracy, like for sure, Patton. And so people just hate him for that. And obviously the people that are liking and disliking YouTube videos and then like have the balls to comment on YouTube, as Rogan's actually pointed out before, are just dog shit people anyway. So like you've got that going for yourself. But but dude, it's just a cesspool. Like and I'm done, man. I'm just like, I kind of wanted, like for a while, yesterday I was just like honestly contemplating like just deleting Facebook.
Yeah.
Deleting Facebook, deleting Twitter, deleting Instagram, just getting rid of all of it and just like not using social media in any capacity for like a while.
Yeah. There's an app that puts
the timer.
Puts a timer on, but there's one that will just like make like not deactivate it, but for 30 days.
Yeah.
You're not able to.
I should do that. It's not that like it's not always that bad. And this is me catastrophizing, obviously. You know, like it's not as bad, but as I've told you before, I like live in hyperbole, you know? So like
right.
But that's part of the problem is like I'm part of the problem, you know? There's two sides to this. There's like the cesspool of social media and then my inability to separate my own feelings from everything that's going on. So then I just absorb all this negativity and then it brings me down. And then like, you know, yesterday after work, I just like took a nap at like 5:00 for like a while. And I used to do that after work when I was living at home with a bunch of other guys, but that was because like I would go to bed at 3 and I was just living not that healthily, you know?
Yeah.
But like since living with Caitlin, I've like tried to get my shit together. She's been a huge piece of that happening because she just doesn't let.
I thought for sure you're gonna say piece of shit.
No,
you lined it up just like.
No, she's just so good to me. Takes such good care of me, and then like has really helped me work on like not being codependent. So like when I'm like feeling all depressed, she's like, "You're not." I mean, what's going on? But like also. You're not going to dwell on this because that's not healthy. Yeah. Which is good. But I just had a day yesterday and then it kind of like folded over into today and I'm like, I'm freaking done with this. I just literally went back and watched the old Big J episode on Rogan. Oh. It was like episode like 850 or something. I've seen it like 4 times. It to this day might be one of my favorite episodes of Rogan just because I love Big J.
Jay Oakerson?
Yeah, dude. Nobody can just like make me like gut laugh like Big J Oakerson. I don't know why it is. It's like there's a million comics. He's not even in like my top 5 comics, I wouldn't say.
Oh.
Have you seen a lot of his stuff or not?
I've seen like Kill Tony. He's been on there a bunch of times. Okay. Saw him as a personality is so likable. Yeah. Because you can tell
he's genuine.
Yeah, he's genuine, and it's interesting because we were talking about last week with the whole comics having to have a hard stance on everything. Yeah. He actually kind of is a guy who is dismissive in a way that it brings you comfort. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Where he's like, don't worry, it's nothing. Yeah. You know, and then you're like, oh, it is nothing. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. He, I don't know, did you see his Degenerates? The half hour? That is, he says some things that, and this is how he is, you know, it's like he's not going to worry about where the line is for being appropriate because everything he's either joking or he just has a good heart. He
Yeah.
just seems like a really good guy, you know? Like he has a
Absolutely.
daughter and he loves her very much. And he talks about how much he loves his daughter.
Yeah.
And how something kind of unfortunate happened between him and his daughter. And now he can't not think of that all the time. And it's messing with him. And it's like not a thing that I want to repeat right
Sure.
now, you know? But it's, I challenge you to watch it, Chris. But I would say
Highly
watch
recommend.
it. Yeah, I would say watch it. I don't know. I love his comedy. I really do. He's not like, you know, in my top 5, like I said. But I watched a bunch of them last night.
It's
Just 'cause I
very
was
it's
like-
very consumable.
Yeah, dude. And it just kind of like I needed a couple of gut laughs yesterday, and I got them. And I've seen those jokes like multiple times. And they still, to this day, like just crush me.
Yeah.
Like he's just so he's so matter of fact in like the way he delivers stuff, you know, that like a misdirection from him is like legitimately being sideswiped by a semi, because you don't at all see misdirection coming, because he's so like he's just conversation.
Yeah,
he's just
yeah.
talking, and now he's got you hooked on the like I'm just talking, and then he hits you with this bomb, and you're like, whoa, like holy, how did you do that? It's like the opposite of Normand. Like when Normand's talking,
Oh, right.
like Normand, you can tell is telling jokes. You know, that's just the way he delivers stuff.
Yep.
You're just like, silly goosey, jokey joke guy.
Yeah.
You know, Big J's the opposite. Big J just sounds like he's telling you this, how he feels about something, but it's hilarious. And I don't know. Like, we might get in trouble for this, but I don't really care. I'm not saying I endorse the language that he uses here. If you want to cut this, you can cut this. I guess, whatever. It's up to you. But he talks about how he got in trouble for saying the word tranny.
Oh, okay.
Right? But that he got in trouble for saying that the word tranny inside of a sentence where he said he batted around the idea of having sex with a tranny like 3 weeks ago in Grand Rapids, Michigan. And somebody was like, you can't say that word. And he's like, what do you mean? And they're like, just say transgender. And he's like, that's so much. Who's got the time for that? Like, like I'm not saying a bad thing. Isn't it better if I say like I thought about actually having sex with a, whatever? And he's like, plus I didn't know what the word was. If I'd have guessed it was tranathan. And that to me was just like just the way he says it, like, oh, I totally would have guessed it was this. But the whole thing is like, are you going to police me for what I'm saying? And Patton has a joke about that too.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like it doesn't matter how they sound. Like if they could sound super professional, but they're actually a total asshole, you know?
Absolutely.
So I don't know.
Yeah, I've talked
Sorry,
about that
I'm all
before.
fired up.
But I think to play the devil's advocate or the social justice advocate
Yeah.
would be I actually thought about is him putting up the idea that I was almost so fucking
Yeah.
I almost did this ridiculous thing. So to him, it's a ridiculous concept that he would have sex with somebody who's transgender.
Right.
So it's a
Well,
downplay.
He in context, he talks up this person
Okay.
the whole way. He's punching up, really. Like at one point he talks about like how he was like the super hot model in the front row at this show.
Oh, I remember. I didn't see. I saw that part.
Yeah, and he's like, he's like, do you have a picture of it? I want to see your, your bits. And then they were like, I don't have a bits. And then he was like, wait. And he looked down and he was like, whoa, that thing is huge. Like he was jealous of how big they're, and it just was like, I don't think he punches down.
Yeah.
Like the way he talks about it is like, he's almost punching down on himself. Like for being like, I literally like, couldn't do it because of my own insecurities. Like he couldn't,
Yeah.
he doesn't like.
He's not man enough to be able to handle that. I think he said
and,
something
like,
to
he's,
that
he
effect
like
before.
the whole thing is like he doesn't like doggy style. So like he would have to do missionary, and like to have that thing that way bigger than his thing slapping their bellies the whole time would just like demoralize him to the point that he just like couldn't handle it. Which again is like it's like him punching down on himself. But like it's very easily confused with him being like, this is gross.
Yeah.
But that's not what he's saying. What he's saying is like, I couldn't handle the emotional toll that it would take on me.
See, that's the shitty thing about somebody who's smart like him, joke-wise, is that his audience isn't necessarily that way.
Totally.
So
because he's got a wallet chain.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not...
You got dudes in the crowd that have probably yelled tranny to somebody before. So that's where people who like are very protective of those individuals.
Yeah.
I always see all sides of things, but what I get fucked up on is it sucks because he has a platform. Sure.
Yes.
But if you were to talk to this guy, do you genuinely think that you would come to the conclusion that he is transphobic and that, you know, he has some type of agenda to shit on the transgender community? And I feel like almost every time people come up with no.
None of us actually fucking know what we're talking about either. I just like talking about this stuff with you because, like, I feel like we're both open-minded enough that, like, I'm not gonna take anything you say as a slight to me, but also like I don't fucking know how I feel about it.
I was gonna say we always discuss things in a way that allows for growth for the other person.
Yeah,
like in areas where I am less educated in things, you bring things that then allow me to understand something better. And while we are two privileged white guys with glasses, which would be a great podcast name.
That's, dude. What if in like 60 years, it's people with glasses that are, you know, because like everyone's like, you can't afford LASIK or whatever, you know, and that's
funny because that's something that's oddly possible.
Yeah, I mean, like people are gonna get shit on for having glasses.
Like dentistry was like a high society thing. Not everybody could afford the dentist.
Oh yeah,
for hundreds of years.
Which is why British people have shitty teeth because it's been in their blood for 100 years. That's
100 years.
That's not why. No, I was just I'm dumb. Just don't let me talk anymore.
But yeah, that's what's funny about that is there are things that everybody has a dentist. Everybody has, or majority of people, right? Or yeah,
for sure.
It's funny.
I don't know. Did you watch Patton's new special?
I haven't watched it yet.
Buddy.
I've been hard in the paint with editing and stuff. Actually, I jack off when I stand now because I have that standing.
Oh, so
I thought about that.
Said that.
So for those that don't know, I have back issues. So I bought a varying desk where I can sit or stand, and sitting or standing, same height. But when it's up, it's funny. The first thing I thought it was like I could jack off right underneath this table.
I mean, I feel like would be any man's thought.
You know
what I mean? It's like you're like, huh? Look at
could
this.
I jack off in this space?
Yeah, but also like I just think it would be so fun. Like I don't know, because like in a chair, it's like I don't know if it's like your like posture and your stature. I feel like would be like more affected by the stroke, you know?
Yeah.
Whereas like when you're standing, like you can find a way to just like get the wrist
I'm
action
straightening
going.
my back as
It's like you can wrist action the whole thing, you know, and really not move your shoulder. But it's like when you're sitting and you're hunched, like there's so much more going on.
Sure.
You know, I feel like it would just be so funny to see a guy like standing desk, you know, and like you walk past and you're like, "What's up, Leonard?" And he's like, "Hey," and you don't notice anything, and then like you have to go around his desk and you're like, "Jesus, Leonard, you don't even have pants on."
Or you hear like that splatter on the ground and you're like, "You spill your coffee?"
Wait, hold on. I need clarification on something.
Yeah.
You don't splatter. It doesn't make an audible splatter.
If you were standing, I've never came on the ground and like stuck my ear out like to see if it makes a sound.
Okay, just getting the decibel reading.
I'm too busy wheezing and looking for my inhaler.
I don't know why I needed clarification on that, but I did.
But I mean, anything is gonna make a sound.
Well, yeah, I just like I don't want to think about it anymore.
Oh.
You know what I mean? That's just such an odd thing to think about.
You have fluffy semen?
Yeah. it's like it's like jet puffed. Oh man, dude, by the way, jet puffed and peanut butter sandwiches, have you ever had one of those?
No,
I know you don't like eat a lot of sugar. I know that.
but I do.
Oh, I know.
I don't, but I do.
Okay, so just one night, instead of eating chips or Oreos or whatever, just make yourself a jet puffed and peanut butter sandwich.
Jet puff peanut butter sandwich.
I'm telling you right now, it will change your life.
What I used to do was I'd put marshmallows in the microwave.
Yep, and they expand a lot, and it's hilarious.
And then I would put chocolate chips on top of that.
Oh yeah.
And then whip that shit up,
Yeah,
and I would eat it.
just plain.
Yeah.
Dude, I used to kind of do the same thing, except I would put a bunch of Hershey's syrup in a bowl and get a spoon and peanut butter, and I would just like take the spoon and twist it in the peanut butter, and then twist it in the Hershey's syrup, and then
That's awesome.
yeah, and then just cry mostly. But yeah, dude, jet puffed and peanut butter sandwiches, they're fire. I remember to this day, like the day that I ate one for the first time, because we were at my parents' house and my buddy was over, and we were like going through the cupboard to figure out what we wanted for food, and he like saw the jet puffed, and he was like, "Oh shit, I'm making a jet puffed PB sandwich," and I was like, "What?" He was like, "Just try it," and then I like, you know.
Now, are you talking about like the actual jar?
Yeah, the jar of jet
Yeah,
puffed.
okay.
Yeah, yeah. You just like spread it. You spread it on like.
What a weird concept, too.
I know. I'm well aware.
Marshmallows in a jar.
Well, yeah.
They-
Well, because it's not marshmallow consistency at all.
Well, it's the inside.
Not really even.
It's
like
not?
it's not like, you know, like how like whipped cream cheese is different than regular cream cheese.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like it's the cream cheese version of marshmallows. The non-whipped cream cheese.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
gotcha.
Like
Yeah.
it doesn't have that like it doesn't even really make a noise. Like when you it's like creamy in a weird way. Like it's like liquefied, which
I'm
which I
realizing-
think means it's not good for you, like at all. Because there's something in there that keeps it liquid. I mean, it's marshmallows.
Right.
They're naturally dry.
Right.
So, like, I don't know. Dude, am I fucking spiking this volume here? Or
No, you're fine.
I'm not going to be a problem for you?
I mean, we raised our voices there because I thought of a thing, but I didn't know how to say it, so I stopped saying a thing.
Oh.
And so we were talking at the same time, and your ears perceive constant power as louder.
Whoa.
Yeah, I know. Interesting stuff. So like when you hear like a boop, it's perceived as louder because
Holy
it's
shit, that
probably
happened.
same decibels.
It
Yeah.
literally just happened right now.
I know. It's weird, right?
Is that just because of the headphones, or is that...
No, that's perceived sound in general. If it's a constant power, same decibel the whole time, it sounds louder because
But, like-
there's no variable to it.
But do you think it's more noticeable because of the headphones? Because the headphones are like noise
Oh,
canceling?
for sure. Yeah.
Okay. Because I was going to say, even if, you know, like I wouldn't notice that if you just did that right now in the room. Probably.
Sure.
Although
In here,
with the
probably.
soundproofing, I probably would. But
But I was
Wow.
saying, I realized I don't think I've ever actually eaten that Jet Puff stuff before. I think I've always done the ghetto marshmallow thing where I
oh yeah, where you melt them.
where I
Yeah,
would melt it.
Yeah.
I don't think I've
It's
ever
a-
done any form of
Well,
that
I
stuff.
think my mom like had a jar of it for something she was making. Like it was like a s'mores like bake or something.
Okay.
You know, she was like gonna make, and so it required that. And then knowing me, I was just like, she's not making anything right now, so it's mine. You know, it's not good. You know what I mean? I mean the Jet Puff peanut butter sandwiches are great,
Yeah.
actually, because it's sweet and salty without the without any additional, like it's like that's why I like a PB&J because I love peanut butter and jelly's fine. You know? You know?
I'm the same way.
Like I like jelly and jam. My grandma makes a badass jam. So good. Strawberry rhubarb jam. Whew, Kevin.
Ugh.
It's fantastic. But
Did you say Kevin?
yeah, I don't know. I've been saying that for years. But like if you can just get like the peanut butter and then some sweetness.
Okay.
I mean, it's like that's what it is. And it's not chocolatey either. So it's like a completely different sensation. It's just like sweet with peanut butter. And peanut butter kicks ass.
Peanut butter does kick ass.
Like a whole lot of ass.
I eat that stuff with just a spoon sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Dude, so I don't know. Have you met Nat?
No.
All right. He's great. He's been like my best friend since I was, 10th grade. I don't know. Known him forever. We went to the same elementary school, same junior high, same high school.
Wow.
We're roommates together in college for our first 2 years. So like, yeah.
How
lived together last year. Anyway, so he last year, like I'm not shitting you, every day. Like he'd come home, make the same dinner, then like eat a bowl of oatmeal like at 8 o'clock, and then like rip like 5 giant spoonfuls of peanut butter, and he would just like be in the kitchen, just like leaning out, just like still wanting to be a part of everything, but like can't not have his peanut butter, So funny, dude. Just loves peanut butter.
When I came home, I thought that I thought I had figured out like, oh, I'm gonna lose weight because I'll just have a spoonful of peanut butter. Peanut butter. Spoonful of peanut butter in place of these other random things like candy, what have you.
Yeah.
But
You don't have
it's
just a
fucking
spoonful.
butter.
Yeah. Well,
I'm
and also
eating
like
butter expecting to lose weight. And I was like
it's a good replacement fat though, as opposed to like the
in the quantities with which I'm eating,
okay,
it's too much.
Well, anything is in too much is bad for you.
Well, especially something that's as high in cholesterol and fat as
but like
peanut
so fat is stored, but is also the first to get used as an energy source.
Right.
That's not true. Carbohydrates are used first, but fat is a more efficient energy source. Like it burns it burns faster. So like carbohydrates, you use them up and they're gone, and then like and that's because it turns to, I think it's glucose actually.
Oh yeah,
it's like as your body processes it, so it like turns to glucose. So that's why it's like empty energy. Carbohydrates are not always. I mean, like if you're gonna run, eat a lot of carbs because it's a good jolt of energy for your system. But like healthy fats, that's why people say like eat as many avocados as you can. I own part of Hoth avocados because it's like
you're probably talking about organic peanut butter though.
No,
right?
I'm just talking about regular ass peanut butter.
Okay, so what I'm trying to say is that
that's not what
okay, like what I'm trying to say.
Okay, all right, Morgan.
Like the amount of shit that's in like processed peanut butter is not the same as like eating a cup of peanuts per se, right? So,
correct, but the fat in the peanut butter is still good fat.
Just not
in tremendous quantities. That's why it's not good for you. So if you eat one Oreo, you're fine. You eat a sleeve of Oreos, not good.
I would argue that there is, you got your peanut butter, right? So there's
I love how like when you want to argue something, but you can tell I'm not budging. You just go into different voices to see which one's gonna crack me. And
how do I disarm you enough to? Well,
I see where you're coming from.
Like the stuff that they add into like a
to make it peanut butter.
Yeah,
because peanuts are hard and crunchy.
Well, but even like so, organic peanut butter gets weird and grainy and all these things.
Yeah.
So to keep it smooth the whole time, there's
other shit in there.
Yeah, like the palm oil and
Yeah.
shit like that.
Not super great for you.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Right. But I'm saying specifically the fat that's in there
Yes.
can be immediately used as a powerful energy source once it's been digested.
Yes. So from one expert to another, don't sit at your computer and eat a bowl of peanut butter, as I found out.
Yeah, I mean, you also said that you are having some...
almond cookies? Okay, so like they're...
Rip. It's so good.
So good. So one night, so like the side effect of the Remeron is that it makes me like get the munchies.
Really?
So
interesting.
Yeah. So I one night they're like breakfast bar.
Hello.
What are those almond cookies called, Kim Duke?
They're almond biscuits.
Almond biscuits.
So they're biscuits with almond butter on the inside.
Holy shit! Are you serious?
Yeah.
Dude, almond butter rips.
So I was about to like go to bed and I just got hungry. And so I ate one. And then the next night I think I was like, well, I'm going to lay down while I eat this one so I can play Pokemon Go at the same time.
Okay.
And then I think the next night I was like, I want another one. So I just started bringing 2 with me to bed. Last night, 4 of these goddamn, what's the brand? Nature Valley. Fucking,
dude, Nature Valley makes healthy stuff though.
Not
190 calories in it.
Yeah, 11 grams of sugar per thing. I ate 4 of them. The 4th one, partially asleep.
Because like one of them is supposed to be breakfast. That's what they're saying. You know, it's like replace your breakfast with one almond cookie butter sandwich.
Exactly.
Actually, you know what's fire? I shouldn't be telling you this. I'm going to ruin your life with this. Dude, it's so good, you won't be able to stop. Actually, you've probably had it before. And if you haven't, I'm really sorry I'm telling you about it.
Okay.
You been to Trader Joe's?
Yeah.
Okay. Kim Duke?
What?
Next time you go to Trader Joe's, get a small jar of this.
Cookie butter.
Yeah.
Crack.
Cookie butter?
Oh,
Cookie butter. It is, I think, Snickerdoodle cookies. It could be, or is it like gingerbread? I don't know. It is literally peanut butter, but it's cookies.
What?
Spreadable cookies.
Spreadable cookies?
Dude.
Is there anything more American than spreadable cookies?
Oh, I know. That's
all
like,
right. Time out.
Absolutely, dude.
Love it.
I mean, she said it wrong because she's a woman, but
Absolutely.
Yeah. Go team. Is that what this is?
Yeah.
Can I rip this?
Yep.
Hey.
they're delicious.
Dude, I'm telling you, cookie butter, though. It's so bad for you. So bad for you. But
That's insane.
yeah, I used to just eat it by the spoonful.
Yeah. Crack that bitch in half.
Because Papa needs the other.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, that's...
They're so fucking
sexual.
delicious. Because you're like, oh, it's peanut butter. And then like the cinnamon. Oh, it smells like bedtime. That's what it smells like to me. Here's how fat I am. I will take a couple of chews and then just sit it on my tongue and let it dissolve. Because it will just dissolve. And I think that's where I get in trouble. Is I'm like, oh, I'm just going to let this, I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to let it sit on my tongue. And then I wake up to Kim going, are you asleep? There's food in your mouth.
Dude, you obviously ate 4 of these.
Yeah.
For sure. Like, duh.
Oh.
Dude, that is...
So we're probably going to cut out, 10 or 15 minutes of this. So we still got some time.
Okay.
You want to test some Prems?
Oh, yeah. Dude, that's so good.
I know.
Tastes like a CT Crunch cookie. Does this have caffeine in it?
Yeah.
Why are you drinking that?
The same reason I eat 4 fucking cookies before I go to bed.
I know, but you have... Just have some water.
I'm going to go upstairs and get water?
No,
I already opened it.
You're right. Okay. I'm just saying, like, you're not going to be able to sleep. And you've said, like, multiple times that you can't sleep. And now you're pounding caffeine.
Hell yeah.
They're good, though, huh?
They are. They're
Good.
fantastic.
That's good.
Clean Cause. Oh, shit. Clean Cause is an Austin-based beverage company with a give-back program that gives 50% of profits to support individuals in recovery from alcohol and drug addiction. That's my pitch. I think I fucking nailed it. Now, if you want to get 20% off of your sparkling yerba mate drink, I personally am crushing the cherry lime. It's absolutely delicious. I love all things cherry lime. You can use promo code TNSAA, the acronym for the Not So Anonymous Alcoholic. Again, that's TNSAA right now to get 20% off of your order at cleancause.com. Okay, now let's test some prems, eh?
Yeah. I didn't write any new ones yesterday or last night.
Well, how often are you... When's the last time you did stand-up?
Dude.
Sorry, I burped over your answer.
March or something?
March? Show or an open mic?
It was an open mic, I think.
Word.
I don't know.
I have not done any stand-up since February 21st, I think.
Yeah, it's been a long time. You also... Are you planning on just getting back into it?
Well, I jokingly was talking to Keenan, and he threw me on that.
Yeah, because I was like, oh, Chris is doing comedy again. Which is awesome.
That was like 2 weeks ago that I was talking to Keenan, though. I was like, I think I said, first thing, fuck you. Second thing, how do I get on your whatever that... I haven't even watched one of the things. I feel bad that he put me on it. This will come out weeks after this has happened, but
That's tomorrow, right?
yeah, tomorrow night.
I just wanted to keep us like anchored in the wrong time.
Yeah.
So it's gonna come out weeks later. It's tomorrow, right?
But I just been writing premises down, like, anyways, because it's kind of my life is. Oh, you know, it would be funny.
Yeah,
and then I write the thing down.
Yeah, for sure. I need to get back into that. I don't know.
So, anyways,
I just get so fucking.
What should we call this? Test that prem, temp that prem, prime that prem,
dude,
flex that mess.
We could do like the who's that Pokemon thing, but it could be test that premise. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can add in the sound bite.
Dude,
for that.
have you heard the one where he's like,
Who's that Pokemon?
It's Pikachu!
It's Clefairy!
because that's, I think, to this day, one of the funniest vines.
It's fucking great. It's
Who's that
Pikachu?
Pokemon?
Fuck
Pikachu. It's Clefairy.
I love it. Okay, so when because you always write stuff, you don't have everything that you've written down. I would assume you've not done on stage.
What?
Everything that you've written down has probably not been performed on stage.
Are you saying not everything that I've written down has been performed on stage? Or are you saying...
Yeah, what did I say?
You said everything I've written down hasn't been performed on stage.
Yes. Like every premise that you've ever written, I would assume has not been... You've not
what you're
said
saying
it on
is
stage.
not every premise that I've written
Yeah.
has been performed on stage. You're forgetting the not in the beginning, so it sounds like every premise I've ever written has never been performed. I'm just being a dick and like arguing semantics.
No, it's funny because I'll talk sometimes and not notice the thing that's missing.
Oh, yeah. I get what you're saying.
So one time we recorded a podcast and I had no idea that I was saying when I were in school rather than when I was.
Yeah.
I did not know.
I've done that.
I'm like stroking out all the time.
Oh, it's not stroking. It's just a thing that happens. You're fine.
But anyways, yes, to what you were saying.
Mm-hmm.
So every premise you were not performing.
Yeah. Yep. You got it. You got it.
I thought of one today, if you don't mind me going first.
Please do.
When you see somebody not drinking, you offer them a drink, and they say, I'm good, you either think alcoholic or pregnant. And if you see me from the front, alcoholic. If you see me from the side, it's a toss-up.
If you see me from the back, you're hoping I bend over. That's good. I like it. The problem is if you lean...
If I push the bell, Because then you stretch
like
it
it
out. You
needs-
go, if I stand to the side and you're...
Half of the punch is the physical part of the joke.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with that. That's good. I mean, the premise itself is the like offering somebody a drink and them saying I'm good. And you
Yeah.
can do a million things with
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Which is where I feel like don't pigeonhole it to only that part of the joke. Because
Right.
like you can run with that premise.
For sure.
Because like now you don't drink,
Yeah.
right?
Because then
But-
it's the next thing is that they always like if you admit to being an alcoholic, they search their memory bank for if they've met an alcoholic before.
Bingo.
And it comes out in the way that somebody says, "Oh, I work with a black guy."
Yeah, dude. That's so good. See, that's fucking funny. Write that down. That's good. Because it's the same way. That's what people do. It's like they want to relate to you, and it's them basically saying, like, oh, you're normal, you know? But they're also trying to be like, oh, I'm normal because I know a black guy, you know? Totally. That's
Yeah.
good. That's really good. But yeah, that's a good, the premise itself, the I'm good thing, you can take a million ways.
Yeah.
You could do 10 fucking minutes on I'm good.
Oh yeah.
So don't pigeonhole it just to because like don't
Right.
lean so hard in the okay. Do what the fuck you want. But like if you lean too hard into the self-deprecating on that one,
Yeah.
then you're never going to be able to get away from that part of the joke.
Right.
It's like if you make the question more about the way people are with the question,
Yeah.
then you have a wealth of approaches for it.
So like, so rather than saying people either think you are one of two things, I could say some people think maybe they're an alcoholic, maybe they're pregnant, and then I say, which if I turn to the side, it's a toss up. And then some people say, and then there's more.
Yeah.
That
for
way,
sure.
I got you. That way, it's more open ended rather than the ultimatum.
Yeah, because like you can just set up on the, some people say this, pregnant, and then punchline is if I turn to the side, it's a toss up. Now next setup
Boom.
is, some people think it's this, and then you can just keep ripping that through that premise because that's a really good premise. Just that on its own is
Yeah.
like the question, and then the answer if I'm good.
Because if you say I'm sober cab, the guy drinking in front of you might say, "Yeah, me too," and then kill their beer.
Yeah, and you're like, oh.
We're not the same.
Yeah, at all. That's funny. Okay, so mine, I don't know if I've ever done this one. I don't think I have. Just about golf. See, like my problem is my premises are long.
That's fine.
That's how they always are.
We just riffed for like
No, I
4
know.
minutes.
Your premise includes short premise, punchline. Here's some tags. Let's go for more punchlines.
Sure,
Let's
sure.
build this. Okay, so mine, as always, I can't. I write down a full thought and then I have to find out where I want to take it. But in this instance, golf is one of my favorite activities, but it's kind of silly and weird. It's the only thing I can think of that you can celebrate sucking horribly. Like you could shoot under 100 for the first time and it's like the greatest day of your life. But if a guy on the PGA Tour shot 100, I think they'd kill him.
not he would kill himself.
No,
Somebody else
They
would
would kill
kill him.
him. Yeah. I think like Nike or like Taylor.
There's a sniper sitting on
Yeah,
the-
Titleist would kill him from the grassy knoll. You know what I mean? Like that. That would happen.
That's such a fucking fun visual. Some guy like reaching out of his golf bag and it turning into a sniper
Yeah,
rifle.
full on
like
James Bond. Like turns
yeah.
a turns
Or
an
what was that
umbrella.
Mark Wahlberg movie? I think it's actually just called Shooter,
Oh yeah.
which is the most Wahlberg thing to say.
Yeah.
Yo, I'm a shooter.
Yo, I opened. Oh, that was hot.
That was a peaker.
Yo, I opened up a burger restaurant. It's called Wahlburgers.
But dude, that's so great. Now, because you could like be like pretending to be the announcer, and somebody's setting up for their shot. Wind is not looking good as the sniper is already downwind.
I just picture like the guy putting like the last putt, you know, to like make it 100, and he's just like twitching and like looking around, like trying to like he just can't even focus on the putt. You know, I don't know. I think there's something there, but like I don't know. I don't necessarily know where to take. I think the best way to go with that is to like talk about when I was like a little kid and how when you're a little kid you don't have like any perspective of sucking at anything.
Yeah,
you know. So it's like if you pick something up when you're a kid, you just kind of love it forever.
Yeah,
you know. And so like with golf for me, like it didn't matter that I sucked when I was a kid because I had fun. You know.
Yeah.
But it's like when people who are older like pick up golf, they quit right away. It's kind of like comedy.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you know, I don't know. Anyway,
I love the like with golf how people invest tons of money to go be angry for hours.
yeah, dude, that's I quit doing that shit. I completely dropped it because that's what happens. It makes me laugh every time. Every time when a dude like growing up, I watched a kid break his driver over his knee. A kid. He didn't even buy his clubs. His parents bought his clubs. He got super pissed, broke his driver over his knee. I've thrown a lot of clubs in my life. A lot. It's never like, and you realize like, oh, the PGA Tour is never calling. So why am I so angry about this? You know? You miss like a 5-foot putt and immediately you just like go full Happy Gilmore on it.
Dude, and it's one of the only sports where you can actively shoot or like play in the same places that pros play.
That's true too. Yeah.
Like you can't go to fucking, I don't know,
Madison
sports.
Square Garden.
Yeah, Madison Square Garden and just fucking do a pickup game.
Yeah, you can't run threes half court at Madison Square Garden. Yeah.
You can't.
For sure. I mean, a lot of the courses they play are country clubs and stuff, but in the same light, that's like there are people who are members at Augusta, you know?
Yeah.
And there's only 100 of them. And I'm pretty sure there's only like 2 black guys. Golf is the only sport that's like trying to keep the old times, you know? And like that means different things for different people.
Yeah.
Nobody's like watching baseball and then they're like, I miss the old days. And what they mean is when there was only whites playing baseball.
Golf clubs are the only like association that are actively implementing don't ask, don't tell. Don't ask me why there aren't black people here, and I won't have to tell you why
there. Yeah, right, exactly. There was like Fuzzy Zeller is his name. By the way, that's his name.
What?
Fuzzy Zeller. Back in the day, he like got all fired up because Tiger was just like whooping everyone's ass, and he like made a comment about how like they shouldn't be like serving watermelon in the clubhouse tomorrow so that he doesn't like play as well or something. Wow. And he was just like, hey man, it's 1997.
Ugh.
Relax. But also, again, it's like people are trying to keep it with the old times, you know? It's just so funny because it's such a weirdly segregated sport.
Oh,
just
man.
Financially, it is too. You know, it's like costs a lot of money. The barrier to entry for golf is like the more you suck, the more you lose golf balls, and golf balls aren't cheap.
Oh.
So it's like you buy the shitty golf balls, you lose a lot of shitty golf balls.
Yeah.
Still got to buy more golf balls.
I love, like, there's such a beautiful storyline of rich guys losing golf balls, hillbillies going golf ball diving, and then shooting those golf balls into the fucking woods.
Yeah.
To, again, never be found.
Barefooted in overalls cut into shorts.
But that's such a, like, there really is that story of, like, yeah, I don't care about that golf ball. Go ahead and take it.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
it's gross.
Are you going to swim in that goose shit infested water to get it? Of course you are.
Gerald, put my ball on a tee for me. I got these hose the other day and I don't want to rip them.
I say,
that's it.
There seems to be a toothless man wrestling an alligator for a ball.
What an absolute moron.
Gerald, get a load of this racket.
Okay, your next premise. That's good. Okay, so there's quite a bit I can talk about with golf. That's good.
Oh yeah, the golf. There's so much because it does like it is a class like it has classes.
Yeah.
Like it's, you know,
I want to
especially in
stay away
America.
from like all the Robin Williams stuff about golf though, because like his stuff is like legendary.
Oh, yeah.
about golf. So I just like
Yeah.
that's the tough thing is like I don't ever want to lean into that, but it's so easy to be like, what a stupid fucking game.
Yeah.
You gotta put
100%.
this ball in the hole. Here's the thing. The hole is 500 yards away. You're like, what? Why?
Okay. Premise numero dos.
Okay.
Which I told.
You got it.
Yep. I told you about this the other day, or maybe it was yesterday.
It was yesterday.
Porn,
I love this fucking premise.
porn is like going on vacation. It's okay to visit, but you can never live there.
That's so good. It's so good. See, but okay, so it's like going on vacation. You gotta have to wear, because I feel like a lot of people do go on vacation places.
Oh,
and they're
it's
like
like
oh,
going to Vegas.
Yeah,
fun
I
to
would say
visit.
Florida, because Florida's more hateable. You know what I mean? Maybe not.
But like when you think about like the things that you can do in Vegas,
You can only
you can't.
vacation.
You can
yeah.
only do them there.
Yeah.
And if you lived there, like if your
Your life
thing
would fall
was
apart.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's
That's
it's
good.
the idea that like you can't, like Vegas is the only place where you can do all of those things, golfing, basketball, all of the
You know
things.
what you could say is like you could say porn is like going on vacation to Vegas. You can visit, but you what's popping?
Oh, really? Oh, I'm sober 100 days today.
I know.
I forgot.
I was gonna at one point like be like so proud of you, so proud of you. It's incredible though. I'm really
That's-
proud of you.
Yeah, wow.
How's it feel?
It feels weird
I'm sure it does.
because I didn't really notice it because there's so much shit going on in
Right,
the
but
day.
you are noticeably since having come home from treatment, you are noticeably more clear-headed, happier. Just I don't know. I'm so proud of you. But like,
Thank you,
yeah,
man.
I mean, you're healthy.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
I have noticed, like, it's a funny thing, like Kim used to be very dismissive of things that I would say and ideas that I would have. And when we had our parents on the podcast, there was a point where she turned and went, wow.
And you were like, oh,
I was like, yeah, I know, I got smats.
this is what happens.
Well, as you heard, my folks are here to celebrate my 100 days. So, I mean,
It's time to go.
we've gone all over the place. We'll do more premises,
Yeah.
premisi next week.
Premise I love that.
Maybe we'll just do one premise each time.
One premise a week. Yeah, that's good.
And that way we can really fucking chop it up
Yeah, I think that's better.
and do the walk.
Yeah.
We talked about sports.
Yeah, which is wild.
Yeah.
It's like you fucking
We did the
don't
we did
watch
the thing.
sports
Mm-mm.
at all.
No,
I do, but
I don't. Once winter time comes around again and the X Games and like Aspen Open and stuff like that, I'll be able to like, let me tell you about how that guy went off his heel edge and whoop, that's fucked up his whole line.
I don't even know if I understood what words you were using. Proud of you,
Same time next week?
dude. Absolutely.
Dude. Yeah, absolutely.
Dude, absolutely.